alaikum. As promised before, from time to time I said that I will choose and pick any video from time to time. Whatever my hand presses on which video of Arab Christians, I will expose them on it because it's easy target, this guy. This guy, I just want to show you how he lies. I just want to show you how he doesn't know how to, he misinterprets things, takes things out of context, just for him to get Patreon on, money on Patreon. And he says that someone was, telling him, oh, someone was donating something from your money or something like that through your account. Man, that is you, bro. That is you, Rakushin. Anyway, let's look here. Is the video here is Muhammad slaughtered animals in the name of idols. Now just watch how he is going to lie to you. He's going to miscut things. He's going to show what suits his agenda and leave the rest of the context. Anyway, let's see what Christian Robber says.
Going to prove that Muhammad used to eat meat slaughtered in the name of idols on the pagan stone altars, and this automatically refutes any Muslim who would dare to say that Muhammad did not slaughter animals and eat the meat of the animals in the name of the Arab idols before Islam.
No, this is gonna refute you. Just watch. You're gonna use the hadiths, I'm gonna use the same hadiths.
Proving that Muhammad was a pagan, a mushrik who ate sacrificed meat in the name of pagan idols, and this automatically refutes the lie that Muhammad was a monotheist all of his life. And the proof is in Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 5499. Narrated Abdullah, Allah's messenger said that he met Zayd bin Amr Nufail at a place near Baldah, and this had happened before Allah's messenger received the divine inspiration. Allah's messenger presented a dish of meat to Zayd ibn Amr, but Zayd refused to eat of it and then said, I do not eat of what you slaughter, meaning Muhammad, on your stone altars, nor do I eat except that on which Allah's name has been mentioned on slaughtering. As you noticed, I placed red lines on the added words in the brackets which are not there in the original Arabic.
How come they're not there, bro? But if you go to another hadith in Sahih Bukhari, they are there. They just put you the things there in between brackets just to show because there's another hadith that has more wordings in it. So this narrator here, he heard part of the wordings, some of the wordings. The other narrator heard the full wordings. And I will show you later also from your own Bible how this happens. Just so you don't say, oh, look how Muslims lie. I will show you what the taqiyya is in your Bible.
Translators of Sunnah.com always add these extra words to save their pagan prophet. Notice, Zayd bin Amr Nufail was a monotheist who lived in Mecca who worshipped Allah alone. He died in the year 605. So you need to understand that Muhammad did not proclaim to be a prophet yet. The story mentioned in this hadith is before Islam, when Muhammad was still a pagan, worshipping idols and slaughtering animals in the name of idols. Muhammad then proclaimed prophethood 5 years later in the year 610. To make things more clear, let us go to Fath al...
He just went to Fath al-Bari right now. I will show you before we go to Fath al-Bari and expose him there. I will show you what it says. Look, Rob Christian, I will show you. As an Arabic speaker, you cannot run away from me. Okay? You cannot fool your audience. This is Sahih al-Bukhari right here. This is the other hadith. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Right? This is right here. Sahih al-Bukhari. I'll press on it. It says, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ met Zayd bin Amr bin Nufail in the bottom of the valley of Baldah before any divine inspiration came to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. A meal was presented to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but he refused to eat from it. Then it was presented, so you see here, a meal was presented to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ by the pagans, but he refused to eat from it. Then it was presented to Zayd, who said, I do not eat anything which you slaughter in the name of your stone idols. I eat none but those things on which Allah's name has been mentioned at the time of slaughtering. Zayd bin Amr used to criticize the way Quraysh used to slaughter their animals and used to say, Allah has created the sheep and He has sent the water for it from the sky and He has grown the grass for it from the earth, yet you slaughter it in other than the name of Allah. He used to say so, for he rejected that practice and considered it as something abominable, abominable. Now he's gonna say, Rakushin, oh well, the Arabic doesn't say that. It does say that. I will show you right now. But make sure you take 2 pills of something to save your heartbeat. This is the hadith here, okay? عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لقي زيد بن عمرو بن نفيل بأسفل بلدح قبل أن ينزل على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الوحي فقدمت إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سفرة فأبى أن يأكل منها. What it says that the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم was presented with a dish of slaughtered animals by the pagans, but the Prophet refused to eat from it. فأبى أن يأكل منها. ثم قال زيد إني لست آكل مما تذبحون على أنصابكم. I do not eat of anything which you slaughter on your idols. ولا آكل إلا ما ذكر اسم الله عليه. I only eat what Allah's name has been eaten on it. So what it says here, that فقدمت, it was brought إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سفرة, it was brought a meal. فأبى أن يأكل منها, he refused to eat from it. ثم قال زيد إني لست آكل مما تذبحون على أنصابكم. Then Zayd said, I do not eat from that which you slaughter on your stone altars. So the Prophet Muhammad was presented with the meal. فأبى أن يأكل منها, he refused to eat from it. ثم, then afterwards Zayd was presented with the meal and he refused to eat from it as well. As the translation here says, there's nothing wrong with it, that a meal was presented to the Prophet Muhammad but he refused to eat from it. The Prophet refused to eat from that meal. How can you say the Prophet slaughtered it and refused to eat from it? He didn't slaughter that meat. The pagans there, they had pagans that would slaughter that meat. So when the pagans slaughtered that meat, even before the revelation was presented, the Prophet disliked that and he hated that, which is another sign and miracle that he's a prophet, even before his prophethood, right? Then it was presented to Zayd and he said, I do not eat it. So you can see this is Sahih al-Bukhari, my dude. This is Sahih al-Bukhari right here in front of your eyes, in Arabic and English, Habibi. In the true version in Arabic and in the true version in English, or true translation in English. Where are you gonna run away? Where are you gonna run away right now? Huh? And if you deny this, I will show you something. I will show you a surprise. Let's go here to your Bible. 2 Samuel chapter 24 verse 11. Again the anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, go and take census of Israel and Judah. Now notice here how the Lord was angered against Israel. The Christians always say, the maghdubi alayhim in Surah Al-Fatiha, those who earned Allah's wrath or anger are the Jews. Look how Islam is hateful. Look at your own Bible. This is what it says. The Israelites were Jews. Right? The time of David was an Israelite. He was a Jew, according to you. So here again, the anger of the Lord burned against Israel. He burned against the children of Israel. This is in your own Bible. Now watch. I'm going to go to another version. First Chronicles. This is another one, but the same story. First Chronicles chapter 21 verse 1. Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel. Okay? And he said to him, look what he said to him. Look what Satan said to him. So David said to Joab and the commanders of troops, go and count the Israelites. You can see clearly here how Satan rose up against Israel, but then in the other one says that the Lord's anger burned against Israel, right? And he incited David. And in the other one it says that Satan was the one who incited David against Israel, right? To take a census of Israel. Right? So according to them, Satan is on the side of God, or is your own God Satan? Because this is what appears to be the case. Now, if Rob Christian was argue that no, this is not a contradiction, this is basically another, this is basically from another angle that's coming through. Well, this is the same thing in Hadith al-Bukhari. There's several hadiths in Bukhari. Some mention the few wordings the narrator heard, and the other narrator would hear the full wordings, which are more. It doesn't make a contradiction, but it makes more words added, so we can understand the whole story in context. And he rejected this. Let's see what Rob Christian has to say right now.
All clear, let us go to Fath al-Bari, which is the famous commentary for Sahih al-Bukhari by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, volume 7, on page 109. We can read, a man
now, that's just the thing, guys. Rob Christian doesn't know Arabic, by the way. Right, he's what do you call Aramaic or something like that. But anyway, how does he know the translation of this? There's these Christians that Christian apologists, the Arabic ones. Christian apologists who know how to read Arabic. They go and cut things out, and they have been refuted by Muslim apologists like Abu Umar al-Bahith and Ahmed Sbeir and Mahmoud Dawood, right? These and the other guy that debated Rashid al-Hamami, the Christian, he debated him. What's his name? Munqidh al-Saqqar, and he destroyed him in debate. It was live. He destroyed him in debate. And the Christians were like going crazy, and many people became Muslims after that. So Arab Christian goes to one of those apologists, and the other one he's Coptic. I think I don't know how, he's Egyptian, right? And he talks. He has like, he as if he's exposing Muslims, but Muslims are exposing him. Arab Christian goes to this guy. They provide you the reference, like for the books of As-Suyuti and all those things about Urub and Atraba. He goes to them. Okay, he hears what they say, okay, he hears the explanation, and he sees these things being read, and then afterwards he would go and highlight these things from them. He's a copycat, basically copycat, because all Christians copycat, like Christian Pins copies from another guy, this Rob Christian copies from Christian Pins, David Wood or whatever, Sam Shamoun, I don't know, they copy from each other, right? It gets spreading like that. But they cut it out, because I will show you how Rob Christian destroys himself in the same book right here, right? I will show you. He didn't show the other parts. He didn't show the context, right, in it. I can do the same thing. But anyway, let's see what he says.
By the Prophet and his adopted son Zayd bin Haritha while they were eating a meal. They invited the man to come eat with them. He said, "O son of my brother," and he's talking, of course, to Muhammad, "I do not eat from what has been slaughtered on the stone altars of the idols." And it says the Prophet was not seen eating slaughtered animals on the stone altars after that day. And if we continue reading, it says that one day Muhammad and his Sahaba left Mecca, and the narrator reports that Muhammad and his Sahaba slaughtered a sheep on the stone altars of the idols.
And as you can see, the video ends here. He's just gonna show this part from scene from a movie, and to the end of the video, right? It's all about singing and whatever it is. Okay, anyway, I will go and show you the page repetition I went to. This is the same book, Fath al-Bari of Ibn Hajar, volume 7, page 109. Okay, this is so these are the parts right here that Rab Christian was reading. Yabna Akhi, so and so, right? So anyway, let me show you what Rab Christian, what they said here actually, that this is not true, right? Let me show you. قال الداودي كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل المبعث يجانب المشركين في عاداتهم، لكن لم يكن يعلم ما يتعلق بأمر الذبح، وكان زيد قد علم ذلك من أهل الكتاب الذين لقيهم. وقال السهيلي: فإن قيل فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان أولى من زيد بهذه الفضيلة، فالجواب أنه ليس في الحديث أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم أكل منها. Okay, so as you can see, if you scroll down, as Suhaili says, if it was said that the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم is the one who is more virtuous than Zayd and knows more than him, okay, then the answer is that there's nothing in the hadith. Of course, there's nothing in the hadith of Sahih Bukhari. If you go back to it, there's nothing in it. I've read it. There's nothing in it saying that the Prophet Muhammad slaughtered it on idols and that he ate from it. As I showed you from Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet refused to eat from it, and then it was presented to Zayd, right? And this was before Prophet Muhammad became a prophet, yet he did not eat from it, right? So it says, أنه ليس في الحديث, okay? There's nothing in the hadith that indicates that the Prophet Muhammad ate from this slaughtered meat on the idols. وعلى التقدير, and if it was said that أن يكون أكل فزيد, right, if it was said that he has eaten from it, if we were to say that he has eaten from it, إنما كان يفعل ذلك برأي يراه لا بشرع بلغه. It was because of a ra'i, of an opinion that the Prophet Muhammad saw that okay, he can eat it, but it was not legislated to him. There was no revelation forbidding that. وإنما كان عند أهل الجاهلية بقايا من دين إبراهيم. That since the people of Jahiliyyah had some of the teachings of Ibrahim, of the religion of Abraham with them, right? وكان في شرع إبراهيم, and the legislation of Ibrahim was تحريم الميتة لا تحريم ما لم يذكر اسم الله عليه. In the legislation in the religion of Ibrahim عليه السلام, there was nothing forbidding a person from eating something that Allah's name is not mentioned on. It was only forbidden in the legislation of Ibrahim to eat the dead animals. Okay? وإنما نزل التحريم ذلك في الإسلام, and that this tahrim, as you can see here, and only the forbidding of the meat slaughtered to idols was only forbidden in Islam, not in the religion of Abraham, not in the legislation of Abraham. والأصح, okay, and the most correct is أن الأشياء قبل الشرع لا توصف بحل ولا بحرمة, that the things that are before the Islamic legislation came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, there's nothing called haram or halal, only after it's legislated by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. مع أن الذبائح لا أصل في تحليل الشرع, واستمر ذلك إلى نزول القرآن, ولم ينقل أن أحدا بعد المبعث كف عن ذبائح التي نزلت الآية قلت. Okay, exact, and etc. So as you can see here, there are many stated things. They're saying that, oh, during the Prophet's time there was nothing forbidding that, right? And there was nothing saying so and so. And Rob Christian mentioned that, oh, this was slaughtered on an-nusub, the idols, and I will show you that this is wrong. Okay, let me show you. Okay. And it was said here القول الآخر, the second saying, and the other saying is فالجواب عن قوله ذبحنا شاة على بعض الأنصاب, that when the person sat above, that they slaughtered a shat, a sheep upon on one of the altars, stone altars, يعني الحجارة, it was stone, it was not idols. التي ليست بأصنام, it was stone. That was not. It was basically the stone altars like the Jews have when they want to slaughter a sheep. They slaughter on some of the altars, the places where so that the blood spills on these altars or these locations, and it does not go on the roads, right? It only spills there. So when they slaughter something, there is places where things are slaughtered, altars, right? Not upon. There's no idols there. You don't see a Jew going slaughtering an animal on an idol, on an altar that has idols, right? So as it says here, that these ansab, these stone altars, were حجارة, they were stones, التي ليست بأصنام ولا معبودة, and was not more worshipped. These stone altars were not worshipped. So how can they be idols? They're not idols and they're not worshipped. وإنما هي من آلات الجزار التي يذبح عليها, right? And it was only like areas where things were slaughtered upon. Specific areas to slaughter upon, just so you don't slaughter in the middle of the road and people walk on blood, right? لأن النصب, because of the nusub, the altar, في الأصل حجر كبير, it's a regular stone, okay? فمنها ما يكون عندهم من جملة الأصنام فيذبحون له, and some of the altars, stone altars, have idols there, so they slaughter to the idol, okay? وعلى اسمه ومنها ما لا يعبد بل يكون عن آلات الذبح فيذبح الذابح عليه ولا للصنم. And some of these stone altars, right, as you can see here, are places where there's no idols on these stone altars, and they are not worshipped, right? And any person can go there and slaughter to it. And it was not la lil asnam, not for the idols, but for a person to slaughter there. Just places of slaughtering, right? And أو كان امتناع, or they're saying or, guys, right? They haven't been specified. He's mentioning the ors here, okay? أو كان امتناع زيد منها حسما للمادة, or maybe Zayd did not want to eat from these meats because he disliked the places where the stone altars were being where the places the sheep were being slaughtered on, the idols there. Sorry, not the idols, the stone altars. But they did not say Bismillah, of course, right? Okay, so as you guys can see, this guy does not make sense. Okay, this guy, there's nothing saying regarding that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ slaughtered to idols. It was not him. It was basically they wanted to slaughter a sheep. They hired a person that was a pagan, okay, not from their, and they went and slaughtered that sheep on a stone altar. He went because these pagans slaughtered on these places of stone altars, right? So as you can see, these are mentionings. These are or. But this is not the case. As you can see, in the places where it says the most correct view is that this is false. And as the hadith, there's nothing in the hadith that shows that, right? You can see here, okay? فالجواب, the answer is أنه ليس في الحديث أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم أكل منها وعلى تقدير أن يكون, okay, and there's nothing in the hadith that shows the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم ate from that meat. And then they say if he were to eat from this meat. So this is if, but this is not true. This is just a doubt. But they're saying that there's nothing in the hadith that says the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم ate from this meat.